Yep,
What's
that's
up?
it. That's how it starts.
That's
That's
how it
how it
starts.
starts. Yeah.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. Welcome, everybody. Happy Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah. Road dogs, all the subscribers and fans and
Welcome, everybody.
members, everybody.
Everybody. The whole world is watching today,
So
son.
I'm
Saturday
gonna tell you,
afternoon. What else you gonna do but watch LV Cops?
yep, yep. How's your week been? Good?
Yeah, busy. I haven't been feeling good. Past couple days. Been
Yeah,
fighting off an illness or something. I don't know.
yeah.
So I think something's
You
going around.
you got the old man Geminitis?
I got old man stuff going on, man. I'm like, I'm old. I got old man stuff. I got old man issues. Okay.
Yeah, I logged on to the diabetic hotline the other day, the website, just to read up on it.
Right.
And I'm logging in, create an account, and the window pops up. He goes, "Do you accept cookies?" So I disconnected real quick because I thought that was a trick question.
I still don't know what a cookie is.
Well, neither do I. That's why I closed it out. But listen, Brian, listen.
I always said accept, where you can't see what you want to see. I don't know.
Last week, and with Karen Reed, there were so many motions, right?
I know.
Holy macaroni! I couldn't keep up with them, and I didn't keep up with them. So hopefully, our next guest here will kind of bring us up to speed. But they were talking about lemonade. Why were they talking about lemonade?
Lemonade.
They were saying lemonade this and lemonade that, lemonade motion this. Lemonade is what they're saying. Are they talking about the drink?
I don't know.
I don't
know.
But anyway,
I don't remember that.
So let's bring in our guest here. He just got back. He just got off the plane. Did you know that he had a photo shoot with GQ magazine?
Yeah, I thought he was on the shuttle going to save the people on the space station.
This is a sharp dressed man right there.
Sharp dressed
man. What's up, guys?
Welcome, Brian. Welcome.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Brian.
It's been a while.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
What's your day been like today, my guy?
My day was busy. I got off work and then headed over to the studio here, and we're gonna do a live with two awesome cops. That's what we're gonna do here. So,
dang, I'm gonna wear my shoot jacket next time, Brian. I gotta step up a game, dude.
No, I gotta bring mine out.
I've been trying to dress up a little bit on the streams,
Outclassed and outsmarted again. Damn, outdressed too. So listen, Brian, I was asking the other Brian, the Brian that's in the middle, why were the prosecutors and the defense all saying lemonade? What's the term lemonade?
Motions in limine. Motions in limine. So I mean, essentially, what's happening here? I mean, it's getting wild. And
I thought it was lemonade, bro. I really thought it was lemonade. I honestly thought it was lemonade. I'm thinking, what are they talking about? Sorry about that.
It's getting wild out here, and it's nothing that I didn't expect that the Commonwealth was going to do. I think they they got a 10-pound bag of what, and they're just throwing it up against the wall right now because essentially they just want to put a monkey wrench into the works. I think Hank Brennan, as much as everybody hates him, we all hate him. This special prosecutor that the Commonwealth has brought in, I think he's a cagey snake. When you watch him speak, he throws words out and he brings them back, and he kind of takes you in a different direction. And if you're not paying attention, you're not going to catch it. And this is all by design. And all the theatrics that we've seen during the hearings with throwing books on the table and kind of going up to the defense witnesses and throwing manuals in front of them. I think you're going to see a lot of that, and try to get the jury's attention. I mean, for crow's sake, this guy defended Whitey Bulger. I mean, yeah, come on.
Yeah, but I feel the same way, B. I really do, because some of the things that he was saying, like you're saying, he'd throw a word out there and it's like, what? Yeah. Why would he say that? There's gotta be something behind it, a hook that's gonna. All he needs to do is catch one or two people with that hook, right? And throw a little bit of doubt, a little bit of question, right?
Yeah.
But when the last video we did at the very end, he goes and says, I don't think Dr. Russell wrote her own report. But he says it in such a way that it gets by everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's a cagey snake. And I've actually had some conversations with like attorneys about this, and that's the only way they really describe him. He's just a cagey little snake, and he's going to throw everything that he can up against the wall at this, and you know, try to get that jury to believe that the Commonwealth is right. But it's going to be a battle. But I like Robert Alessi on the team. I think he's going to be a great matchup for Brennan. Once you start seeing this back and forth in the courtroom with them, I think Alessi's a little bit more liked by Judge Bev than AJ and Liza. She tends to kind of jump on them a little bit. And then obviously we know David Yanetti's from Boston. She's been kind of jumping on him a little bit more lately, but Robert, for some reason, you know, I think she has a little bit more there. But I mean, listen, the bias is there. It's
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that because even she jumps on the defense so quick, so fast when Brandon's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And she just lets him skate with that, you know, and when she says, don't speculate, shit, he's all he does is speculate when he talks.
Yeah.
Every single word that comes out of his mouth is speculative, you know?
Yeah. And then we just found out now that there's the higher court, the Supreme Court, denied dropping the 2 charges against Karen, so she will face the 3 charges again. Again, you know, all something that will be here on the record. I think 2.0 is going to be it's going to be like one of the craziest Tyson fights you've ever seen in your entire life. It's going to be a battle of just really, you got the snake cagey, you know, Commonwealth, and then you're going to have these brilliant, very smart attorneys that nothing's going to really get by them. And it's going to be very interesting to see this time around. I'm more curious to see, how does the defense tackle this time around? You know, do they go, I clearly think they're going to adjust. In the acronym that we've been kind of throwing around on my channel is keep it simple, stupid. Not that any of them are stupid, but you know, dumb it down, you know. And what I would do is just use, if we can get that ARCA evidence in, just roll with ARCA. You have to prove to that jury that, you know, Karen didn't hit John and John didn't make contact with Karen, and that's your case right there.
It was that frozen grass blade that cracked his skull open, right?
Yeah.
You know, Brian, it's going to come down to words. What words have been used and how they were used. I noticed that in the last few times I watched a few videos of these guys, they go off each other's words. Well, Mr. Brennan said this, and this is how he used it, right? So they're going to be really chopping up each other's words to where they're going to use them against each other. Yeah. And I would also take the angle of bringing all the other witnesses, the ones that let them perjure themselves. Let themselves look like an ass because of what they said and stuck to their guns, even though it wasn't the truth, you know?
Yeah, I like the 2. I was kind of joking about this now. I like the 2 Commonwealth experts that Bev just is going to allow. This guy Crosby, that's the dog behavioral specialist, that he's going to actually be able to come in and testify to the wounds on John's arm. Okay, not a veterinarian, not a medical expert, but go ahead, bring him in, because I know the first thing, if it's Robert Alessi or AJ that get him, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of them, they're going to go, and when did you pass veterinary school? And when were you a medical doctor? And even Bev said that to testify to these wounds, you had to be one of those 2 when she was talking about Dr. Russell, but he's not. And the other guy, and I forget his name now, it's now slipped my mind, and maybe the chat can remind me because there's so many names in is this weather expert, this weatherman, and use the brilliant scientific term of hard as a rock.
Yes.
So that'll be really interesting when Robert Alessi or AJ gets a hold of that and say, can you tell me where anywhere in the book of scientific discovery or quotes that this is that great scientific term of hard as a rock when you're describing the ground?
You know what's going to happen as soon as he gets on the stand and the mic gets hot, he's going to say, "Just kill me," under his breath, right? Because he is going to get tore up from the floor up.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are going to get. I'm like, bring it in, because it's just going to be great TV again. You know, like we want to see it. Bring those, you know, those idiots in. They're just going to get pummeled by Alessi or AJ. So
nothing can really change other than because the testimony is going to be the same. The evidence is going to be the same. The only thing that can really change is the presentation.
Yeah, I agree. But I've kind of been talking about this too. And I really want, and I'd love for you guys to go back and do this. Go back and watch the interview with Ted Daniel, part 2, when they're in the SUV. Okay. And I think that we're going to see some more things that are brought up, because I kind of feel like Karen was dropping some Easter eggs in there. And
is that when they're she's in the back of the car?
Yes. She talked about
I just watched that today.
Yeah, she talked about geofencing.
Yeah, I just watched that today.
She talked about the temperature of John's phone. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Well, maybe they can gauge through time of, okay, he actually went into the house, and let's just say his phone's at, 80 degrees. And then all of a sudden there's this temperature drop at the time that is supposedly where he's dragged outside.
Yeah.
There you go, right there. Start coordinate all that.
This is getting to be some Star Trek-y kind of shit, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, holy macaroni.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna start. I believe me, the defense is gonna have something up their sleeve too that I think is gonna just blow everything wide open this time, because they've had more time. And I've always said this too: is what is like the worst thing the Commonwealth can do for Karen's team? Give them time. And we clearly saw that in the first trial, where they would bring like Jennifer McCabe in on a Friday. They wouldn't get totally through her testimony, but then they would go back on Monday, and they've already had, a portion of her testimony, and then just used it against her on Monday and made her look even worse. Yeah. And they did that. I want to say they did it maybe with Brian Albert. There was 2 days, or Brian Higgins. There were 2 days. But
yeah, I think Bev's going to run maybe a little bit of a tighter ship, right? Keep things going in a direction that she thinks is better, instead of having it just a free for all, because it's going to be a free for all. It really is. She has to maintain control, and I don't think that she'll be able to do it. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a tight ship. I don't think it's going to be like the last time. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be right by the numbers.
Do you see what they did to Aiden? Do you see what they did to Turtle Boy? They put him on the witness list. The Commonwealth.
Oh, no shit.
They put him on the witness list. So what happens? He's on the witness list. What does that do? Shuts him down from not being able to talk about the case, not be able to blog about the case, not be able to write about the case.
Ooh.
So, TB's like, they're not going to call me. Then I mean, that would be a disaster if you got Aiden up in the, from what he knows about this, investigating this and going into court. I mean, but I think they're just doing it to silence them. And here we are. We're silencing free speech again.
That's devious, man.
Yeah.
That is devious.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
It is. It's also genius.
Yeah, I mean, it's genius on the Commonwealth, but
it's
I
genius.
mean, it's just
sucks, but it's genius.
Yeah, but the way that you have to look about it is they're just it's First Amendment right. You should be able to talk about whatever you want.
Well, that's why they put where the defense can't talk to the media. What's that called? A muzzle?
Gag order.
Gag order.
Yeah, and they're trying to gag too.
Yeah.
And but the thing, the hypocritical thing about it is Gretchen Voss. She was part of trial 1. She's a reporter. She was called as a witness, and she was continued that she could continue to talk about it. But now that it's Aiden, it's like, oh no, you're not gonna be able to talk about it. It doesn't make any sense. It's like rules for thee, but not for me. Or what's that saying? Rules for me, but not for thee. It's crazy.
Yep.
It's gonna get wild, man.
It is. Hey, we just saw a bunch of people come over from the glare, so appreciate you guys jumping in. Hope we can give you a show to like. Welcome. Hey, I want to talk about that old fart, that old Morrissey guy. Why is he back in the news? Is he going to get called to the stand because of some of the stuff that he was saying during his remarks?
Well, that's the biggest thing though, too. I mean, will they call Morsi? I don't think they're going to put him in a position like that. I don't see it happening. I mean, he's the one that's calling the shots on this. Goes all the way up to the top.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
Wow.
I don't know.
We're going to find out here in a few short weeks, man. I'm telling you
Yeah,
what.
I mean, we're almost 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
If it starts on April 1st. I mean, I don't know. Anything could change in the next 2 weeks.
Is that a Monday? I'm assuming April 1st.
Let's see, April 1st. It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
Yeah. Another thing, tomorrow night, on Monday night, there's going to be a documentary series. I think it's 3 parts on Discovery ID. And what the hell is the name of it? A Body in the Snow. It's gonna be a 3-part series.
Holy crap.
But here's the crazy thing about it. So it's kind of snaky. So what the production team did was reach out to a lot of the people like us, like YouTubers that were covering the case. Now, I don't know. I've talked to a few people. They gave interviews, and I don't know the extent of everybody that did it. But so I went out and sat with them for like 2 hours, and we talked about everything. And they were saying, oh, we're putting together a documentary of the creators and the Free Karen Reed supporters that are kind of, following the case and talking about it. So I was like, all right, yeah, that's a great opportunity for me. I'll do it. So we sat down, gave an interview for like 2 hours. And then just a couple of weeks ago, they reached out and emailed me, and they're like, yeah, we didn't go that way. We're going to just focus on the trial.
Wow.
So that they just probably pretty much gathered intel from all of us to shape their docu-series. But I did do a contract with them, and we did put some things in there. So I got to go back and review it, because all I want is like my interview footage, and they won't give it to me.
Yeah.
But if it's in there in my contract that they have to, I'm definitely getting it.
No wonder you're all dressed up. You're a damn celebrity now. Holy macaroni.
I'm not a celebrity. So how have you guys been? Like, what do you've been busy at work? What's new? Anything happening in Vegas?
No, we've just been busy with work and, life in general, right? My a while ago, my dad was going through some health issues, and he kind of turned the corner a little bit. He's doing good, but he's kind of back down to where he's at. So I'm kind of concerned with that. But life stops for nobody, my guy. It just keeps going, right?
Yeah, it does keep going.
You're just on for the ride, man, until your number's punched.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be 47 on Monday. It's crazy. I'm like getting close to 50. And it's like things hurt now. Like when I bend down, my knee hurts when I get up.
I see you got some good color in your beard. That's the good color right there, man. That's seasoned. That's seasoned. Yeah, it's like salt and pepper. That's all you put on a steak is salt and pepper. That's all you need. You know what I'm saying?
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So policing what it is today as to when you guys started your career, is it just completely different? And if it is, what ways has it changed?
Let me go first. I'm going to say 3 things: ask, tell, make. Okay. You ask him, hey, sir, I need you to stand in front of my car. Right? He doesn't do it. Then you tell him, sir, you're going to stand in front of my car. He doesn't do it. Then you go up, you grab him, put him in handcuffs, put him in front of your car. Right? That's gone. Right? There is no ask, tell, make, because it's too aggressive, too violent. Tell me, Brian, is that aggressive and violent? It's not. Right? No. You have to take control of the situation, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, but it's a lot softer policing, but I get it, right? Everybody has social media cameras. We have cameras. The street have cameras. So it catches us when we're not doing the right thing all the time, right? And that just makes us look a lot worse than what it is, right? But we have to evolve with the times.
Yeah.
We have to evolve with what the government wants us to do.
Yeah.
Right. So I think they're a lot more handicapped right now than when Brian and I first started back in the late 90s, early 2000s, because policing back there was boots on the ground and it was fun. Right. You got into a scrap with a bad guy, it was a scrap. Right. And literally like the movies, you tap each other on the shoulder and you don't arrest him for that offense, or you give him a citation instead of an arrest. But there was more respect for law enforcement than there is right now. There's no respect, and it's a tough thing for me to see, especially when we know, both Brian and I know, that we can die for complete strangers, and that's the message I mean, that's the line we signed on, that we would do that. But there's no respect, and that's okay. I don't need respect, right? I don't need nobody's approval if I'm doing the job that I'm supposed to do, right? They might not like me, but that's the part of the job.
Yeah.
What do you think changed, or what do you think? Why did it change? Why did the respect go away?
Man,
Social media.
yeah, social media. Brian, you
Social
want to take this one?
media. Social media. Lack of fathers in the home. Lack of fathers in the home is probably one of the biggest things in this country.
Mm.
And when you look at the statistics, when you have a mom and dad both at home, your kids have like a 95% chance of never going to jail.
Mm.
When you take away the dad, it's almost literally like a 60-70% chance they will go to jail.
Mm.
Right? So a single mom, and I know people aren't going to like this, but this is the stats. A single mom raising a child, he has just as the son has just as much chance of going to prison as if dad wasn't around or dad was deceased. But if dad raises a single son, the kid most likely will never go to prison. And if mom and dad raise the kids, they most likely will never go to
Mm.
prison.
Yeah.
And when Gonzo and what I saw a lot of over my 22 years out on the street of going to people's houses every night was lack of fathers. Right. In the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a lot of dads. But near the end, I mean, I hate to say it, but it was literally like every house you go to, there was never a dad. And mom would have 6 kids with 6 different dads and not be able to work and wonder why she's having a hard life and wonder why the
Yeah.
kids aren't doing well. Right, Gonzo, we saw that a lot, right?
Yeah, we
And then
did.
social media, everybody lives on social media, everybody's on their phones, and it creates, it puts us in a bad light. And now, I used to say this a lot when I first hired on, when you had to call 911, it was for a true emergency, right? You had to actually find a phone. You had to go
Yeah.
to a pay phone, right?
Excuse me.
And call 911. Well, nowadays everybody has their phone on them.
Yeah.
So now, they call on every little fart, shit, and poop. So we get flooded with BS calls. Everybody's got a camera. And like I've said in the past, police work is kind of like trash. It's kind of like being a trash man. We take out the trash. It's dirty business. And now everyone's seeing what we've done for a long time and they don't like it. They're like, oh, well, those cops are too rough. Well, no, we've been doing this way for a long time. It's dirty business. When you come into a restaurant and say, hey, take that guy out of here. And he says, no, F you. What do you want us to do? He already just said he's not leaving. So we have 2 choices. We either leave and you deal with the problem, or we drag him out, right? So again, it's dirty business. So nowadays it feels like everyone wants to be too kind. And as soon as, like, you can punch the cops and kick the crap out of the cops, and as soon as they touch you, they're like, police brutality, like that old meme. I love it. They have a guy who just gutted like 15 kids and he murdered them and he's covered in blood, and the cops are coming out and they're putting the cuffs on too tight, and everyone's screaming police brutality. Nobody even gives a shit about the kids that he just murdered.
Unreal.
Yeah, so when you look at everything together, it's just to me it's like a plethora of things adding on that just makes police work very differently nowadays. Everything's on camera. I mean, what other job do you have where everything you do, your entire workday, is filmed and then it can be critiqued and you can get in trouble from it? Name me one job where your entire workday is recorded and then you can get in trouble for saying one wrong thing.
Yeah.
Only cops.
Yeah.
You know one thing too, Ryan, is that there's no neighborhood interaction. Nobody gets involved anymore. You know,
Well,
there's
no one's out sorry. I mean, there's no one out anymore. I was just saying to a guy the other day, I go, shit. It was like, I don't know, last weekend or something. It was Saturday. It was like 1:00 in the afternoon. I'm driving. I'm like, there's no kids out. Like, I remember going out and playing basketball and, football and baseball and skateboarding and riding your bike. And like, you don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
There's no unity anymore.
One of my favorite things to do is get up in the morning, sit on my porch and listen to the birds sing and watch my neighbors drive by.
Yeah.
People don't do that anymore.
No.
There was a study done about 3 years ago where they did, I think it was like 50 people that they invited to come to the study. And the study was like 3 minutes, right? They were asked to walk across a park and into the office building. And they asked them every time, hey, did you guys hear the birds or the dogs barking? And they'd say no. They would not say no because they're just completely unplugged.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this. When you both, all right, so let's say this. What would you say to an incoming rookie or what were the conversations that you were, how am I trying to word this? What were the conversations that were said to you coming onto the force as a rookie, 20 years ago? And do you think that has changed? Like, what would you give as advice to a rookie now coming on to the police force?
Well, when I first got on and my FTO said, you're going to love the hell out of this job. It's going to be fun. It's going to be demanding, but you're going to love helping people, right? That's what that was told to me. Okay. And I kind of relayed that as well to my trainees, but I also would tell them, because now we have body cameras. I said, now you're going to be recorded 10 hours of your life. So you have to be careful what you're going to do so it doesn't impact your career and send you to prison, right? Because, and I would say this to them, the department doesn't issue your discipline anymore. It's the public that demands you go to prison, right? So you're working for the public even more now. And that's what I would tell them, right? But you're still going to have a good time because it's a great job. It really is. So I think the flow has been more to career preservation and avoiding prison time, because before it was really hard to lose your job. When Brian and I were first starting out, it was hard to lose your job. If you did your job well and you screwed up, and don't worry about it. It's a write-up. Now it's a full-blown investigation, right? Because they want transparency, So the game has changed. The suspects, this is interesting. The suspects always stay between the ages of 17 and 25. The suspects always stay that age. Police officers just keep getting older and older and older, right? And they get more experience to pass on to the new guys, right? But it's that you have to have that involvement. You really do. But the suspects are always the young guys.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. I can just only imagine, because the 90s were crazy. It was crazy times. I mean, it was even scary. Like, I know in and around where I live, I mean, there were some really tough kids that were out there, and they were doing shit that was just looking for fights and looking to beat people up, and it was crazy. And guns were coming in, drugs were getting really crazy. So I mean,
we had let me interrupt for a second. We had a guy, his name was Leon Austin. He was one of my one of my FTOs. Super cool dude, man. And he grew up on the West Side. And he would tell me stories. West Side. He would tell me stories that anytime that the West Side department would have a problem, because he works Southwest, they would call him and say, hey, we got Billy Joe Bob here giving us a problem. He goes, oh, I know him. I'll go talk to him tomorrow. He would literally, this police officer would go off duty and talk to this guy and say, you got to cool it or this is what's going to happen. Right. They had that neighborhood interaction. Right.
Yeah.
And there is none of that stuff. Like I was saying, just There is no socialization, no interaction. People live in their, 2,000 square foot homes
Yeah.
and get in their car and go to work and come home. And that's all they do, So
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get any better.
Were you guys on the force when Tupac was shot, or do you know anybody that was involved in the investigation of that?
That was in
No.
96.
96. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was a couple years. That was 3 years before my time.
But let me tell you, policing back there, listening to those guys tell stories, man.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was like you're saying, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was
just
crazy.
go back and look at cops programs from the 90s. I mean, the foot chases and stuff. I mean, it was just long foot chases. Now everything is just so kind of covert up. They just kind of roll up on you now, and it's all undercover, and they jump out and grab the guy. And you don't really see, all those long foot chases and stuff.
Well, I know they teach us now, like even in the academy, you got to protect the suspect now all the time. Every time we come in contact with somebody, we have to protect them. So even if you're fighting me, Brian, right? Let's say you're a bad guy. I'm cop. You're a bad guy. You want to fight me. We start fighting. I'm trying to take you in custody. If I take you down to the ground, I literally have to make sure that I coddle your head like a fucking baby. Even though you're trying to kill me or hurt me, I have to coddle your head and take you down to make sure your head doesn't hit the ground. So what's happening to police work is they're turning all the cops. They're not holding people accountable for their own actions. If you fuck around and find out, that's on you. But they want the cops to do everything that they can and never hurt anybody. But yet everyone's allowed to hurt us, right? Like I just saw on Joe Rogan the other day, he was mad at some newscaster because they showed this cop, and the cop was shooting at the guy, and they were like, yeah, look at this cop, he's shooting at this guy for no reason, blah blah blah. They were trying to make it a race thing. And they didn't show the entire beginning of the video where the guy was running with the gun, turned around and shot at the cop a bunch of times. So you see how they're painting. So the news again is painting this narrative, and it just sucks. It sucks for cops all around. There's such a shortage because it's like, why would you want to put up with a lot of the BS? I wouldn't want to do it right now. That's one of the reasons I retired. Why would I want to put up with all the BS? I'm trying to help people. I don't even know you. Now I'm in trouble. Now I might go to prison. You attacked me. I took you down to the ground. You hit your head. Now I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Why would I want to do that?
When did you guys start seeing the shift in all of that? Was it just more recent in your career, or was it you kind of saw it
about
coming?
2015.
Yeah.
2013, 15-ish.
Yeah. Our policies got a little bit bigger because of the changes. Like Brian was saying, we have to really be cautious of how we take the suspect into custody because it's all about optics. These days, it's all about optics.
Yeah, it's like we have to care about what everybody else what it looks like and what everybody else thinks. And as a cop, when you're in a fight and you're trying to take somebody into custody, do you think I'm supposed to worry about what everybody thinks or what it looks like? I mean, I have a job to do. But again, society is making to where like police officers, it's almost like you're an actor on a scene. And you got to be good and you can't hurt the person. And well, if you get punched in the face or shot, well, you picked this job. That's on you. You still can't hurt him. I get sick of it, man. I'm so sick of people not being accountable for their own actions. It drives me nuts.
Brian, let me ask you, Brian, what do you think how police has changed? Is it good or bad in your perspective in the civilian side of things?
I think it's gotten a lot worse. I mean, we know about defunding police programs. We used to have all those wonderful community outreach programs where, like the DARE program. I don't see that anymore. I don't see, like officers. When I was a kid or a teenager, they would patrol the neighborhoods and then stop and talk to the kids and get a vibe of what's going on.
Basketball.
Or you're out skateboarding and you're not really supposed to be there, but they'd come out and bust our balls a little bit, but then just say, hey, like what's going on in the neighborhood? Have you guys heard anything? And if you need anything, here's my card. I mean, we had interactions like that all the time. And I think that goes back to what you're saying is that the respect level And that is on the departments. You're not in touch with the community. You're not out there as a face, and you're not out, talking to kids or just even, adults in the neighborhood. And that's where the disrespect, I think, comes in. And of course, social media as well too. I mean, all the shit that we've seen.
Let me say this. Sorry for cutting you out there, B.
No, it's go good.
But when we're sitting there handling a call, right, and it's static, we're done, right? A family is walking by. The mom and the dad say, "Hey, don't say anything to the cops because they'll take you to jail. You better be a good boy to take." You don't say that. That throws the fear of God into them, right? We're going to be the last people that they're going to come to help because they're going to be thinking we're taking them to jail.
Yeah, and what they should be saying is, you see that guy right there? He's there to hold up protect the law and uphold the Constitution. And if you're ever in a situation, that's who you should be calling. Those are the people here that are protect you. I can understand. I can understand that you guys, retired and get out of the business. I mean, it is a lot of fucking red tape now. And with these states that think let's defund the police and we'll make fucking drugs, illegal drugs legal everywhere. Like what they did out in Washington. And you've seen what's turned into our cities and this this pad hand policing, like we got to be good to everybody. And
no, we don't. No,
we don't. And it's just, absolutely. I agree.
No, we don't.
If you're breaking the law or you're smashing someone in the face, let's not pat them on the back and say, okay, we're going to let you out in a few hours. Because how did that work in New York City where, people would get beat up or slashed and they let them out in 3 hours and they're back out and they've stabbed someone and now killed them. I mean, how does that line up and say, yeah, this is working?
This just happened in New York. There was a police officer that got shot by a suspect and the officer returned fire, killed the suspect, right? So his boss and the mayor come up and say, "Hey, we want to extend our condolences to the suspect, not to the officer, but to the suspect." What does that tell your troops? That you don't have their back?
It's the same thing that just happened here in Boston.
Good.
We had a guy that broke into or caused an issue in a Chick-fil-A, went in there with a knife, was getting ready to knife a whole bunch of people, chasing them around, and end up getting shot and killed by Boston police to protect the people in that area. Yeah, and then you have the Mayor Wu gets on TV and says, "Our condolences to the guy that died." Like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you saying? That guy was getting ready to murder like probably 10 people.
They don't care.
Our condolences?
They don't care.
What the fuck?
They don't care. Yep. I'm serious, man. Like the government, the higher ups, they don't care. They really don't. That's why I always preach, save yourself. Don't look to anybody else. Save yourself. Don't ever look to somebody else to help you or save you.
Yeah. And it's funny because we can kind of go there now. Did you see the Trooper Proctor update here?
Yeah.
Out here? Okay. So now his family released a statement and just essentially said that, well, the reason that he acted this way was because the stresses of the job. Well, that's, you're trained for that. And number two, if you're having stress, that's where you go see a shrink and you talk to someone about it. Take a leave, not do the things that he did. And I just find their statement completely hilarious. The stresses of the job and that, he's so embattled with everything that he has gone through. And this is just to completely break down his character.
That's a lie.
Like, come on.
That whole statement's a lie.
Yeah.
They're just trying to save whatever face they can. Yeah. Him being stressed out or being traumatized is all BS. Look, any street cop's gonna be traumatized. That's just the nature of the job.
Of course, yeah.
But that doesn't. What does that got to do with saying crazy ass, stupid ass text and saying dumb ass shit?
Yeah.
That it has nothing to do with being traumatized. That's just stupid and very unprofessional. And he got caught. Yeah. And now they're trying to save a little bit of face. Right.
And that's the thing though too, is like I try to say to my audience is that, a person like that, the way that the way that Michael Proctor is, I don't even really like to say call him a trooper. The way that Michael Proctor is that is a behavior that is inside him. That's not just like one night.
Correct.
We're gonna flip the script, and all of a sudden, you know, fuck Karen Reed and all this talk about her medical stuff, and she's a whack job C and all that stuff. That is something that's been carried through his whole life. And he essentially tricked the system to get in and be a law enforcement officer because he probably wanted to hold a position of power.
He probably did.
And the crazy thing about it is not only is he like that in his professional life, you damn well know he's probably worse in his personal life.
You know what, Brian? That brings up a good point, because you literally took the words right out of my mouth. That's the problem I had with that, is because he's doing it, but he's also chatting it out with his buddies who are also probably doing it. They're probably doing it as well, right?
Yep.
Not a good look. Not a good look.
It's not a good look, especially. I mean, if you keep that to yourself, okay,
sure,
it's isolated. But he put it out in the chat saying no nudes yet. They all do that. They're all doing the exact same thing.
Yeah,
that's not the first time he's done that.
No,
guaranteed.
No, he's
guaranteed. But I can guarantee you that'll be the last time he does that.
And really, Brian, the sick thing about it is what you said is it's not the first time that he's done that. He's looked through dozens and dozens of phones. Like, that's
I'm gonna say hundreds of phones.
Yeah, that's scary shit. He's looked, like, if you've been arrested by Proctor or had any contact where you've had to turn your phone, that motherfucker was looking through your phone.
First thing he did was look for nudes.
That's crazy, bro.
He's telling you right there.
Yeah.
First thing he does is go to
no
your phone
nudes
and
yet.
try to get the nudes. Yep.
He said no nudes yet. What a fucking piece of shit.
Just,
yeah.
That tells you where his mindset's at. You know what I mean? And he's not. How are you supposed to be professional, and you're the lead investigator on the case, and that's the way you're speaking within the first hour of a unalived officer?
Yeah.
That is just look. I can. You can. His wife can say PTSD or whatever all she wants. I'm gonna call 100% BS.
Yeah,
he knew exactly what he was doing, exactly what he was saying, and like you said, Brian, he that's the way he is. And okay, you know, cops and firefighters and military guys and doctors, we're calloused, we're cold, we say dumb things in the wrong times because we're used to being able to say whatever we want to our friends who are also cold and calloused.
Yeah.
So we forget sometimes that people, you know, are people. But that's just the way. That's the way he is.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, this is not the only conversation that whole group has had. I mean, this has been hundreds of times.
Oh yeah.
Hundreds of times.
Oh yeah. Every time they came in contact with a female, they probably did that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, it was probably a game for them.
Probably.
You know what I mean? It was probably like some kind of almost like a sport, you know, see how many phones you can get and look at in one night or something stupid.
It's like that's predator activity too. That's crazy.
It is. It is predator with a badge. Yeah.
Yeah. So he grew a beard out, and it looked like he actually like dyed it black. So he's trying to hide himself around here. It's hilarious. Yeah.
Well, we find out it was today is when it was closed.
Yeah, it was closed yesterday, but now they're going to make.
Because I just watched the update this morning, so now they have a couple days to decide. It's going to be 3 guys to decide his fate.
You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it.
No, not till after that trial.
Yep.
I think they're going to push it. I've been saying this all along. I think they're going to push it till after that trial.
He's going to be on paid administrative leave until after the trial. Then he'll get fired.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Gons.
Hey, let me ask you something.
You guys were glitching. What'd you say, G? What you think he's gonna get fired?
We said that you're a good-looking man is what we said.
I think he's probably gonna get fired
after the trial.
Yeah, after the trial.
After the trial, yeah.
So there was a question on here.
Everybody thinks that he's going to get a couple. I mean, I'm looking at the chat. I'm sorry to break up, Gons. I think a lot of this people are kind of 50-50 on this. Oh, no, he's going to get fired before the trial. He's not going to get fired before the trial. The Commonwealth needs him. So they may have to have him come back and testify. But obviously, well, let's just say that they're probably not going to call him. But I know who is going to call them. The defense is definitely going to call him back.
Yeah.
So
they're going to hammer it. They're going to hammer him.
Because it just wouldn't. I don't think it would look good in the sense for the Commonwealth that they fire this guy before their
lead investigator.
Yeah,
remember, it don't look good at all.
Yeah,
he's gone.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think it will be it'll it'll play out till after the trial.
Yeah.
So I know that you've had your fingers on the pulse for the Enrique stuff.
Yes.
Any new stuff coming out that you know of? Any?
Sure. So I can tell you a little bit. Unfortunately, we've just the other day hit the 6-month mark in the death of Trooper Enrique Delgado Garcia.
6 months and no updates.
6 months. We've had no updates as we know from the first initial reports and then the things that I've kind of dug up. I can say this. Probably 2 weeks ago, I did a conjoined show with Mike from the Young Jerks. We actually had Worcester Senator Moore on the channel, and what he recently did with two other senators, where they wrote an open letter to the Attorney General office, Andrew Campbell, and essentially was asking, we want an update because it's been nearly almost 6 months.
Yeah, 6
That's
months.
feet to the fire, man. That's feet to the fire right there.
Yeah.
Kind of where we're at right now. David Meyer, the special investigator, has now hired on 6 additional people experts that are coming on, some former FBI, and reading through some of the articles. And I'm probably going to write something pretty soon on my blog. It's been a while since I wrote about it, but some former FBI agents, and I believe a former chief of police in Boston joined the team as well. And it's just been going through and investigating, the class that graduated. They have done interviews with friends and family, as far as I know. And I would assume they're probably going to go back and maybe talk to some prior classes as well too. But that's kind of where we're at. It's been.
This is the thing too. If you're gonna, sorry, Brian, but if you're gonna interview all those prior, but you have to understand, there's a lot of red tape that goes with that.
Yeah.
It's just not like us three doing an investigation. It's not. If we're going to talk to somebody, they're going to have representation.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to probably have representation, maybe some lawyer. It's going to take a while. I think it's going to take a while to go through all of this. But as far as what happened to him, we still don't know. I mean, we can only speculate.
It wasn't no accident. It wasn't no accident, my guy.
Something happened.
The thing that I want to know is how high up does this go? I mean, if let's say hypothetically they find that the academy dropped the ball, okay, is it just the tax staff, the sergeant, the lieutenant, the captain,
right? DIs,
right. All that, is it going to be an all-encompassing? Okay, we're firing everybody, and we're going to start new because the way we do things is killing people, right?
Well, the sergeant will be put to the fire right off the bat.
Oh yeah,
for letting it happen, and then the lieutenant might be able to have what's it called?
Amnesty.
Ignorance. You know what I mean?
Oh that one.
Deniability. He can say, "Oh, I didn't know what was going on," even though he might know what's going on. Everybody knows what's going on, but the frontline supervisor's definitely going to be on the chopping block.
Here's kind of the irony in all of this. So 2 weeks ago, a brand new, I can't even believe I'm saying this, a brand new state police facility in East Falmouth, Massachusetts, just got shut down for what? Hazing and harassing. And they've let go of the 2 department heads of the academy. And they had to have, and I forget what the protective force is that comes in and kind of takes over, but this government entity to come in, square all this up, keep the academy open, and now there's possible disciplinary action that's going to happen here. And it's the same thing that we heard in New Braintree. Enrique himself said to his family that it was it was hazing and one of the most harassing environments that he had been in. So, I mean, this is a culture that's going on inside of the facilities here inside of Massachusetts. From what we know in our state police facilities, that is imbrued deep in this. And, I'm kind of angry. I mean, you have this Colonel Noble that was supposed to come in and clean everything up. He's the Jersey guy, knows Maura Healey, our governor, was appointed special by her, and he's going to come in and clean up. He hasn't done shit.
Supposedly.
Hasn't done
You,
shit.
let me say this, and maybe I am completely wrong here, but back east, being a police officer is more of a honor, right? Hey, you're a trooper. There's more prestige to having that badge, right? For us in Vegas, it was a great privilege to carry the Clark County badge, right? We loved it, but
Yeah.
there was no hazing. It wasn't no like you're gonna do this, that, and the other. The only hazing that I ever encountered is when there was a senior academy class ahead of us, and they're walking down the hallway. We go against the wall, right?
Yeah.
We
Make a
give them
hole.
all the hallway,
Make a
right?
hole.
There was never no hazing. It was always, hey, this is what you need to do for your phase, second phase, third phase. We always had that camaraderie in there because we're all going through the shit. We're all going through the shit. But there was never any hazing like is happening back there. And it might be because there's more pride in the position, right? If you're going to wear that badge, you're going to earn it more ways than one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I could be wrong. I don't know, but that's the feeling that I'm getting.
Yeah, I never got hazed. Well, I never had it. I hired on a little bit before G. Yeah, I never got hazed. I mean, the worst thing as a new cop that you could do is in briefing, which happened to me a bunch of times. You go and you sit down, and then a senior guy comes up and says, "Hey, you're in my seat. Get up." And you're like, "Yes, sir." And you get up and you move, and then you finally, after 10 times, you realize I'm just going to stand in the back of the room and wait till everybody else sits.
Yeah.
And that's really it. I mean, there was no other than because we did all of our whatever fighting scenarios we had. That was in the academy. Once you're out in field training, yeah, we're all brothers.
Yeah. Yep.
At least it was here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
There he is.
Oh shoot. What happened, Steve?
Who's this handsome?
So remember before we went live, I said, hey, if I pop up some super chats on the screen, will you guys read them for me?
Well, that was before Brian showed up all gussied up and took all my attention to his glorious eyes.
Oh man, I was flashing the screen. I was kind of like,
I
anyway, we got
saw
a
him,
bunch of
but
super
Brian was talking, and I didn't want to interrupt him. For
Yeah,
super
he
chats,
had
so
his
was like,
flow.
I
I should have
saw him,
said.
but
Yeah, no, we don't want to interrupt our guests. That's true.
I should have said to Brian. I said, "What
No.
date was that, Brian?" Like phony baloney Bev does. What date was that? What page was that?
What was that, Mr. Jackson?
All right. Well,
What
I
do you
hate to
got?
interrupt with my ugly mug. I'm definitely not dressed. I got a Monsters of Rock Cruise t-shirt.
Love
Let's
it.
rock.
Hey, who does your theme? Is that really you and Brian doing the theme song? You playing?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's we had a bunch of songs, and I just picked a couple, and we play a couple different ones.
That's cool.
From almost 20 years ago.
That's cool.
I can't put any music on my videos because I get banded.
You get
All right. Well, sorry to interrupt the flow. You guys are doing great, but I do want to acknowledge the fine people that are asking questions and making donations. So let me go through those real quick. Some of them already popped up on the screen, but that's okay. Thank you to all of you. I'm not going to say thank you to each one, but thank you for everybody for supporting us. We appreciate it. You help us do what we do. And heck, if nobody watched, we wouldn't do it. So
That's right.
right.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate you.
So Mary Pat, thank you for all you do. Classy. Oh, great guest. We love our BLT.
Thank you so much.
From KT. Glenn Massouz is back once again. Bev bias is evident. Hank is going to end up with egg on his face and losing the respect of the legal community in Boston.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Goodmans are also back, gifting memberships. Thank you. CPU Mod has been a member for 1 month. Why are they putting Nathan on the stand? Even Mr. Reed. They're not putting Mr. Reed on the stand, are they?
He's on the witness list. I think just to bust balls. I
didn't see
mean,
that.
they had communication with Karen that morning. So
Yeah.
it's just it's to break balls. That's what this all is.
That's why they wanted just phone records. They're like, "Oh, you were talking to your daughter, at 7 a.m., 6 a.m." Okay, yeah, I called my dad. Who gives a shit?
And
I was in a crisis situation. Who do you call? Your parents. I mean,
yeah. And what this does is on the witness list, it stops you from speaking out in the public. It stops you from going on a show here or there or making a statement. Can't talk.
Muddy in the waters. Muddy in the waters.
That's what they want to do. Shut everybody down.
Yeah, it's a strategic move.
Yep.
Sons of bitches.
Yep.
All
Can't
right.
blame them.
Michelle Smith has gifted 5 memberships.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
The Goodmans once again gifting more memberships.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Thank you, Goodmans. Thank you.
Hey, badoosh that button too.
Badoosh. I already badooshed it.
Thank you.
Look at the way house building has changed. Front porch is not a focus. I hate the houses that have the garage in front and you got to practically walk into the backyard just to get in the front door.
Yeah.
Sorry. People spend the money in the back of the house and the construction that evolved over the last few decades to almost non-existent front porches.
That's true.
You are correct, Julio.
Yes.
You are correct. Julio.
This was in response to
Change that to Ferguson, yeah.
When Brian LTL asked about when policing changed.
Yeah. No. 2015, right?
Yeah, you know when they take ex-felons, drug dealers, and make and they tear down statues of good people and put up other statues. Come on. Yeah. Come on. What are we idolizing here, people?
She's been a member for 3 months. Thank you. Dark Willow has now been a member for 5 months. She says, I love you guys and I've been looking forward to this.
Thank you.
Dark Willow. Thank you.
Thank you.
We got a big one from Better O Affidavit.
Oh, nice.
Much respect to the LV cops.
Yes.
Wow.
And Brian LTL.
Thank you, Better O Affidavit. Thank you.
Kath, the member for 4 months.
Thank
Great
you.
show. Glamasues again.
Yes.
Community policing is what works best.
Yep. Look out for thy neighbor.
Yep.
Well,
it just Getty Stain is back.
Oh, thank you. It goes down to the broken windows theory, right?
Right.
What that means is, you call in a broken window, cops come in and take a look around, right? Their presence deters crime for 2 hours, right, Brian?
Yeah, it's somewhere around there, like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah, and cops, like you were saying, you don't see cops on patrol anymore. You don't. They just wait for the call to happen. Being proactive is how you deter crime.
Yeah, but being I always used to tell people this. When you're looking, like people used to tell me, hey, stay out of trouble. And I, as a joke, and I would tell them I get paid to look for trouble. That's my job. Yeah. Looking for trouble turns to work. Work can lead to uses of force and jail and all kinds of bad stuff. So a lot of the cops nowadays, at least my buddies that are still on, kind of the old timers, they're like, why would I want to look for work? Why would I want to get in trouble? Why would I want to give myself, put myself in that situation? I can just chill and get paid and wait for calls. Can't blame them.
Yeah. Career preservation.
You think the less patrolling is due to like a lot of the budget cuts in departments now?
Well, that's part of it.
You think it's just a different way of policing, waiting for the call?
Well, I think it's that, and we're just so short-staffed.
Yeah.
Policing agencies. I mean, when I tested, right? When I tested in '98, there was like 6,000 people put in.
Wow.
6,000. Now we can't even get 30.
Wow.
So that's the difference. Nobody wants to do it. Back then it was picked. They picked the cream of the crop. There was 66 out of us. So they got to pick whoever they wanted out of 6,000. Now 30 people put in. They're like, well, 10 people get past everything in backgrounds and then 3 make it through FTEP. So now you got 3 new cops.
Let me say this too. When Brian and I hired, and they just changed it prior to that. If you did 20 years and had 55 years in service, you could punch out. Right now, you have to do 33 years before you can punch out. Right. Yeah. So a lot of these kids don't look at policing as a career. It's just an opportunity to go someplace else. So you don't have that long time loyalty of 25 to 30 years. You don't find that anymore.
No. And 33 years is way too long to be a cop. That is way
a long time.
Way too long to be a cop.
Can't catch me, Grandpa.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. It's,
Nor can that 500-pound cop either.
Exactly.
True
Yeah, I
that.
mean, you're gonna have cops out there into their 70s. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. It's just, yeah, they're making it harder and harder. It's almost like they're doing it on purpose.
What do you got, Brian or Steve?
Oh, and we just got a Venmo from Sandy. And I apologize, my phone's not loading up, so I'll get back to you, Sandy. Meatball Morrissey's Getty Stain. This is random, but I will never forget the LV Cops episode, Break These Cuffs, where the cop followed a little person that was arrested as he claimed, I can break these cuffs.
I bet you he didn't break the cuffs, did he? I'm gonna go with he didn't break the cuffs. I didn't see the episode, but I'm betting. I bet $1 million he didn't break the cuffs.
We got a Venmo from Sandy. She says, love all you guys. I live in New Hampshire, so hoping I get the chance to run into LTL sometime.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm out there at the courthouse. I'm very approachable. Come up, introduce yourself. Let's talk. Yeah, absolutely.
He always wears
Do you still have that? Do you still have that billboard up, Brian?
Oh,
so the billboard for Enrique, we ran it during the month of December and January. I just got to get some more funds together, but I have something that I'm planning here that's going to be even bigger pretty soon.
Nice.
Yeah, I told the boys about it backstage, but I don't want to break the news yet. But you all just give me a little bit more time here, and we're going to get something going here again.
Yeah,
that boy.
Cool.
That boy.
It'll be cool.
Yeah.
Brian, on last week's live, both Gonzo and I wore our FBR hats from you, and they were asking us where we got them. Of course, we got them from you, but someone said you got them from Etsy, or there's somebody on Etsy.
Yes, you can go on Etsy, and you want to look for Boma hats, and that's BOMA hats. Just look for that store, and it's Jennifer owns the company. She makes these wonderful hats, and you can get them there.
BOMA?
Yeah, BOMA, Boma.
Boma.
Okay.
Yes, Boma hats. I'll put it in the chat. Boma.
I saw somebody mentioned in the chats or in the chat about Pelletier.
Yeah, we're getting that. Hang on.
Huh?
You're getting ahead of us.
Oh, okay.
You're getting ahead of us.
Sorry.
There it is.
Let me stay in my lane. Let me stay in my lane.
Boma hats. I'll drop
Boma
the link
hat on Etsy. So hopefully whoever was watching last week, and Brian put the link in there too. So
yeah,
good stuff. Thank you again, Brian, for the hats.
Yeah, and their quality. Like I want to promote it. Like it's some of the nicest Karen Reed merch that I've. The hats are awesome. They fit great. It's a great look to it. I love the patch, and she does really nice work.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, her designs are really good. So, and she's got beanies too, which is cool. So,
very nice. You are a gracious host. Hopefully, we can get back out there, see you in person.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, man. That was a great show. That was a lot of fun. The studio's changed a little bit now, but it's,
I see that backdrop.
Well, I noticed you adopted our colors with the cop colors back there.
Yeah, I got the blue and red back here. So
you gotta love it, dude.
Nice.
You gotta love it. You gotta
love it. I like it.
Yeah, the good cops, not the Proctors of the world.
Let me get a few more super chats so I can get my off the screen and you guys can talk some more. Your mom's new accountant is a former LV resident. Thank you for keeping our community safe, especially around 1 October.
Yes, ma'am.
I worked on the strip then, and it was such a solemn time. Love your perspective on Karen Reed. Very insightful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Grant's Pants. Here we go. LVPD John Pelletier. Diddy lawsuit comments.
Oof. Oof.
What do you think, Gonzo?
That's a slippery slope, son.
Did you read it?
No.
Did you read the article?
No.
Okay, I did. And it's, I know John Pelletier. I worked with him for a while here. He was a good dude. I'm gonna just say this. I find it very hard to believe that he did anything that they said. I knowing John, the accusations to me are like, nah. I don't see it. Now, could it have happened? Of course. But me personally, I don't think it did. I don't see that happening with John.
I'm going to have to take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Okay.
I'll send you the link when we're done. Yeah, you got to read it. I don't think it happened, but he did take some heat because he was John Pelletier was the watch commander the night of the Route 91 shooting, and then he left Metro, and then he was the Maui chief of police, and then he got brought in with the fires, and now the whole P Diddy thing. So John's getting around. I don't know what he's thinking, but
there's a dark cloud on that guy.
I wouldn't want to be him right now. But John, if you see this, I'm hoping none of those things are true. I believe that you didn't do any of that stuff. So,
wow,
the Diddy stuff is wild. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't even want to say.
Yeah.
Like, if y'all want to read it, you go read it. I'm not going to say it here on a live. That's nah.
It's wild.
But I don't believe it. I don't believe John would do that. I just don't. So
you get drugged up, you'll do anything.
Yeah.
Well, and if the money's right too, because I guess he was doing a little bit of like a little side EP work, executive protection. So, when you see stuff with stars, right, you got to keep your mouth shut sometimes. But where do you draw that line, right? It's different if you're sitting there with a rock star and he's, doing a line of cocaine, or versus you walk in and there's 16 kids tied up and they're all getting SA'd. Like, where do you draw the line? At one point, you got to be like, whoa, 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 bro. Yeah.
Money talks, though. Money talks. Money talks.
But, yeah.
Well, money talks. Money talks.
Hmm?
Yeah.
We got to get like 3 cameras on us each, too, so we can flash.
I'm just curious if this all gets kind of swept under the rug and it's just the big money, payout. That's usually how all these things play out. I don't know.
Yeah,
they got some.
Diddy is messed up, man.
He's in a lot of trouble. Yeah,
he is screwed for life. Yeah. He is never getting out of prison. Never. No, he's never getting out of prison.
Yeah,
I think he's just going to sink whoever he can, as many people as he can.
Yeah,
but he's never getting out of prison.
Well, where is that Epstein
not with everything
list?
I've seen, he's prison for life.
Can you imagine that being like one of the richest people in the world, and that's it? Like, you're gonna go to prison possibly for the rest of your life. Like, you
give it all up.
It's like that crazy thing. Like even like Aaron Hernandez, the Patriots football player here. That guy scored what, a $40-50 million contract, playing for one of the best teams at that time. Was like winning championships. All he had to do was just take his money, spend it, have a good time, and he's out murdering people. It's wild. Like, what is it like? Just people get bored? Is that what it is? Like, I need to do something.
Well,
it's crazy.
When you get put on a pedestal like some of these celebrities, right? Yeah. You think you're untouchable.
Yeah.
Right? You really do. I mean, they can use your platform for good stuff, right? But when you're spilling out junk, that influences a lot of people. When you really don't have any right speaking about it. So when you have power, you think you're untouchable. You can do whatever you want. It always comes back to get you.
Yeah, there's an old saying: if you really want to know a man, give him power. Don't give him money. Give him power, and you'll see the real man. And men like that, when you have everything, you have nothing. Right? When you can have anything you want at any time, as much as you want, it's not supposed to be like that as a human being, right? Yeah. You're not supposed to have every indulgent that you want your whole life. It's not healthy. It's not conducive for a normal, healthy relationship with yourself, just your person, but then with other people. You know what I mean? And I think when guys get to that point, that's why so many people find Jesus, right? So many people, when they're at rock bottom and they have millions of dollars and they're drug addicts and this and that, they always looking for something. And Diddy is just looking down the wrong path, man. And when you have all that power, you feel like you're untouchable.
I would think you
think that you're a billionaire. Think about it. You can take people out like that. You think you're untouchable. You think I'm above everybody. You literally, because you think about it, everywhere you go, you're above normal people. So you live above normal people, and you think you can do whatever you want. And he did do whatever he wanted for what, 20 years?
Yeah. I mean, just
Let me say this. Everybody is above me, Brian. Thanks for bringing that up.
Well, everybody's above you, G. That's
I
correct.
just think it's crazy that, you know, like even some of these celebrities that just caught, like he got caught, I think, beating his girlfriend in a hotel in this video, and they just get a pass. Like it's just like no charge, like you get a pass. It's like, holy crap, like
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And they do, and it's just this. It's the same as the celebrities or rich people when they speak up. They feel like their voice means more than a normal person.
Yeah.
When it doesn't, because you are a normal person, just like me, just like you, Brian, just like Steve, like Gonzo.
Yeah.
It's just that you have a different career. You make movies. It doesn't make them smarter or better. But so many people jump on the bandwagon and they think that these people, you know, I always tell people do research for yourself. Think for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, our feet, we get up in the morning, our feet both still, you know, both 2 feet still hit the floor. So
yeah, when I did some after I retired, I did some executive protection work for a year and guarded some cool people, some rich people, some famous people. And one thing that I learned is we're all the same.
Yeah,
we are all the same. Nothing changes. Rich people have the exact same problems as everybody else.
Probably
they
more.
don't have money problems, but they have every other kind of problem.
More problems.
Biggie Small said it
more
best.
money, more problems.
More money,
Dang
more
it, you
problems.
took the money right out of my mouth, too. God damn
More
it.
money,
More money,
problems.
more problems. Yep. Yep.
So I think Diddy just got carried away. He was on top of the world. He thought he was the king, and he was 100% untouchable.
Yeah.
And bam, just like everything in life, all good things come to an end.
And he's
going to jail for the rest of his life, and so are a bunch of other people.
Yeah, you put booze, drugs, and women in that, forget it.
Yep.
All right, guys, let me get through. Let me
I'm
get through a few
surprised
more
that
of these.
all the famous rich people like Ellen and all these people that I'm seeing are caught up in this. That actually caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
You know, but they do say Hollywood. What did what's his name say? Mel Gibson said Hollywood was built off of the blood of children or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Time out. Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, yeah. Let me get through a few more of these guys. Kelly Reed's in the chat.
Oh, Kelly. What's up, Kelly?
Hello, Kelly. Kelly. And Mazza. I saw Mazza in there too. What's up,
Maz is in the chat, or was in the chat.
That's my boy. Maz is my boy.
We got a super from Susie CJ. I lost my 48-year-old cousin, a retired brother in blue, to cancer. The funeral was a beautiful representation of how the loss of a brother should look.
Yeah,
much love to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The sacrifice that we make is really unmeasurable.
48.
It really is.
It's too young.
You know?
Way too young.
Yeah.
Super sticker from Elizabeth. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Mary
Thank
Pat.
you. Pat.
Mary Pat. I love
Mary
it.
Pat.
Yeah, I was yelling at you guys in the chat to read the super chat. So now there's a super chat for you guys to read the super chats. Thank you, Mary Pat. Appreciate it.
Sorry, Mary Pat. We weren't paying attention to Steve back there.
Donna is a new member. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And like I say, every episode, go to our YouTube and view on the membership tab. You'll see a bunch of
funny
silly
stuff.
videos. Yeah. Julio, little people would be impossible to find in a full parking garage. Homegrown alligator.
I don't see anything wrong with midget. Is it midget wrong? You can't say midget? I know
you know what? I don't know what you can say anymore.
Little person.
Little person?
Yeah, I think
you
that's
can't
the correct way.
say a homeless. No.
You could say fun size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We've got a super from Homegrown Alligator watching from Australia. I can't believe the shit show that's going on. Free Karen Reed.
Yeah, good day, sir.
Brian and Gonzo.
Thank you.
I see no Gonzo on there. Forgot about the gooch, huh? Okay.
Brian, LVT cops.
Well, I guess I get I'm getting phased out.
LVTV.
No, it said LVT. I said Brian and Gonzo. I didn't say Steve. I turned over a lot less. We were duped. Hello from Seattle, Washington. Finally was able to catch a live and not rewatch. Well, feel free to rewatch it. Feel free to rewatch it too if you want.
Yes.
I see you.
I'm not rewatching this.
Insider has 2 highly technical YouTubes on the CPD video. Must watch. Karen is not guilty. You saw this, Brian? Is that what he said? I haven't seen them.
I haven't seen them yet either. Have to check them out.
All these content.
But we know Karen is not guilty.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that. Another one from the Karma Believer in New Zealand. Guys, aren't Alessi and Bettero experienced constitutional focused lawyers? Are they looking beyond 2.0?
Oh, wow. Man, that's at some point, the Commonwealth's going to run out of money. You know what I'm saying? With all this going on, they're going to run out of money. Then what are they going to do?
I don't. Well, they're paying their cops at friggin' $300,000 a year each, so it sounds like they have plenty of money. You know.
Let's just not hope we have to get to a 3.0 or beyond. I truly believe, and I've been saying this all along, Karen Read will be 100% exonerated in 2025. She'll be found not guilty.
Hey, Brian, looks like your computer's going to reboot behind you. B.
That's awesome.
Just hit like restart later or something.
Awesome.
Another time.
All right. Your mom's new accountant is a new member.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you, your mom's new accountant. Thank you.
Donna has gifted 5 memberships, and the Goodmans has gifted yet another membership.
Awesome.
Dang.
So
dang.
Thank you.
I actually got caught up. Let me double check here. I got caught up with all the supers, so I'll get my mug off, and I'll try to see if there's any fun questions in the chat that were not supers. Meanwhile, you guys can talk amongst yourselves.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. And if I throw a super on the screen, you're going to read it, right, Gonzo?
No.
No?
I'll read it. I'll read it if you throw it on there.
Excuse me.
Gonzo can barely read.
Brian, what's those 2 cases got back thrown on her next case, right? The ones that she tried to get thrown out.
What
is that right?
Who? I'm sorry. Who are we talking about?
Karen Read. Karen Read. They went back.
Charges.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court denied the motion.
So apparently, there's no double jeopardy then, right?
No, that's what they're saying. So the 3 charges will come back. It's crazy. I mean,
yeah, but if it wouldn't have been a hung jury, let's say, I think that's why they're not doing a double jeopardy, because there was no disposition filed on those 2 charges, so that's why they're bringing it back.
Yeah, and they just want to bring it back because I mean, this is like Karen was saying, and go back, and I'm telling you, go back and watch that part 2 again. You know, this is about power, and I've always said this all along, that the Commonwealth needs Karen Read to go down for this, because it just hides everything along the trail of everything that's gone on with these people. The McAlberts, the dirty cops. This goes into Sandra Birchmore. Those cops handled, some of those cops handled Birchmore. And what did we find out there? They tried passing it along like she unalived herself. Then we had a brilliant, one of probably the best pathologists in the world, second opinion, come in, Michael Bowden, and said, no, she was murdered. And now we're getting into Brian Walsh. Now that guy killed his fucking wife. I don't care what anybody said, but Trooper Proctor handled that case, was the lead investigator on it. So it just dovetails. It just keeps going and going and going. And the fucking line needs to stop. This is over. These people all need to be held accountable. It can't go on. And Morse needs to be held accountable.
I just don't see how the blinders can be on so tight. I just don't understand how every person that's, came in contact with Karen Read's case, why can't they see what we see? I don't get it.
I don't either.
Not get it.
I mean, we were just I just been going back to 1.0 and reviewing some of the testimony from the witnesses, and like you know, we did Brian Albert the other night, and at the very end of it, someone was requesting the part with Trooper Paul and the whole pirouette. I'm like, how are you sitting there as a juror and you're hearing this guy explain this, and it's making absolutely no flipping sense at all? I mean, if I didn't even know anything about this, and I was just listening to that 20-minute interlude in that testimony, I'd be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like,
exactly.
He did a pirouette and he flew 30 feet in the air. There's no way possible that would happen.
I was telling Brian this last week when we did our show. I watched a YouTube where this kid runs a red light. He's on an electric bike. That car's going like 30 miles an hour, completely sideswipes him. Both of his shoes go off. His helmet's all jacked up, and he gets up and walks away. Right? Yeah. So there's no possible way that Karen did that. No possible way.
I've been trying to find like videos of impacts with like an SUV backing up, but all I can find is really forward crashes. That's a lot of the things that you see. But I would just love, like, I think I'm hoping that this time around, you know, even if this whole like ARCA thing, like if they can't say the federal investigation or whatever, I would love to see them come in and show a recreation with the data that they crunched and show that to the jury, because as you know, and everybody knows in this audience now, we're all very visual creatures now. We learn by video. I mean, you don't sit down and do coursework anymore and look at a book. You don't learn that way anymore. They usually watch a video, watch a training video. And I think that would be the best representation to say, here's the data that we crunched. This is how impossible, like, it's just not possible that it happened this way. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
We need the Mythbusters.
I thought we were going to get that in the first trial, but we didn't.
I've said it before. Even if Karen did hit him, she did not unalive Officer O'Keefe with that vehicle. So even if she did hit him, which I don't care, even if she did hit him, she didn't do all that damage to him and his arm and all those injuries. That he did not sustain that from backing up a 24. Oh, we got a super chat. Bonnie Coy, $10. The day John O'Keefe was killed, the Canton Police Department never lowered their flag.
Yeah, that's sad.
Nor did half of them go to the funeral. Yeah, thank you, Bonnie. Yeah, that is very sad. That's actually kind of disturbing.
Yeah,
but,
that's a slap in the face.
And I still think, like, I'm telling you, I'd love to put like crash pads on or something and just try to recreate that, have someone back up at 24.5 and hit me. I guarantee you I'm just gonna fall back. I don't think you would not sustain those injuries. And for Christ's sakes, even his own brother said he looked like he went 6 rounds with Tyson.
Because he did.
Yeah, because he did.
Let me say this. What happens when a impaired driver gets in a car accident with another vehicle? He generally lives, right? It's always the DUI guy that walks away.
Yep.
And the reason is because you're loose. You're loose, right? If John O'Keefe had a few drinks in him and the car hit him, it's going to be a delayed reaction. His arm is going to go forward first, and then he's going to slightly turn, because you're not stiff. You're loose as a noodle, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, I got a couple beers in me, man. You could back into me. I'm going to be all right.
I'm
going to be all right. You ain't going to kill me with backing into me at 24, hitting my arm. I'm sorry.
Just even from a physics, I don't see it. Like, he would have just bounced off the car, maybe went back and hit his head, and he had a concussion.
Yeah, maybe
not all
those
injuries,
like the bite marks and all the scratches and the puncture wounds on his arm. Yeah. And they're trying to say that came from the plastic or from the tail light. I'm sorry, but what are we in fucking second grade? This is like schoolyard shit.
Yeah,
like I can't even believe this is a real professional courtroom. Like, you're coming at me with this bullshit and you expect me to believe it as a grown ass adult? No.
Yeah, and AJ said it perfect too. He's like, he's cross-examining Trooper Paul. So he says, all right, so what, like, I want to try to get this straight. So what you're telling me is that Karen backs up, he hits the elbow, and that explodes the taillight. but his arm hung there long enough.
Yeah.
But that
Through
doesn't
his
even make
shirt.
sense because if you were hit, wouldn't you go back? But he's
It
like,
would bounce.
it hung
It
there
would
long
bounce.
enough to get the striations on your, like, that's fucking preposterous.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous, that theory.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
Math.
and then he spun and then all of a sudden flew 30 feet in the air.
No.
You could tell Tuber Paul was like, holy shit. What?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No.
And he kept going to that water bottle. I'm like, the answer's not in that water bottle.
Dude.
Like, it's not.
It didn't happen that way. I don't care what they say. It did not happen
There's
that
no
way.
way.
No.
And I've been there.
What's...
I've been there a million times. I've seen that road. It's a curved road on a 30-degree grade. You put snow on that, you're not getting up to that speed. I mean, Karen would have had to been one hell of a fucking NASCAR driver to navigate all that.
That's what we were saying. Doug, the guy driving us around, had trouble going forward at 25 because when we came up to that one part, it turns tight to the left.
Quick. Yeah, it's quick.
It's a tight turn. So if you're not paying attention, you'll miss that. So to me, I agree with you. At 24 miles an hour in reverse, in snow, in the dark, and she's impaired, it's just not going to happen.
There's no way.
And even if she did, again, it's not going to hurt him.
No.
Surely not going to unalive him.
No.
The recent video, the flurry shattered the tail light.
Yeah.
The hammer puts the whole theory to rest. Oh, for sure.
I want to actually get a tail light myself and drop it from certain distances and just see what would happen.
There was a guy, somebody mentioned it, that there was a YouTuber that bought a Lexus tail light.
He did. Yeah, I saw
this is the guy.
It.
Yeah, this is the guy that broke it up with a hammer.
Yeah, I saw the video. And you know what? When he hit it, G, it's just like the accident scene we've been at, right? He hits it like 2-3 times. It breaks into like 3 or 4 big pieces. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it. That was the whole tail light. 3 or 4 pieces.
Yep.
Not 47, 48 pieces.
Well, Brian, let me ask you this. Was the 24.5 miles an hour, or whatever it was that tire rotation or actual car movement?
Well, that's what they're saying. Car movement, I believe that's what they're saying.
Because me being from Idaho and I back up, my wheels are spinning, but I'm not moving that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they measure.
I have the video. I dropped it in there for Steve. If he wants to pull up that taillight, we can see him whacking it there. We could take a look at it if you guys want.
Yeah, throw it on there, Steve-O.
We can take a look at that.
We got a super chat from Darlene. The $4.99. The interview jurors said some of them thought 2 people were there. One was dead, one was alive. She must be guilty.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Ronnie basically said. He said what we're going off was 2 people left the waterfall. 2 people could have been drunk. They went to the house. One got dropped off. One was dead. One drove away. That's literally what they were just, and they said that everything else in between that was a distractor.
We'll figure it out.
Seriously, that was the case.
We'll fill in the blanks. We got the beginning and we got the end. We'll fill in the blanks as we go.
Right.
Hey, Steve, you got that video? We can pull it up and watch it.
I put it in the private chat if Steve wanted to pull it up.
Well, John O'Keefe's blood alcohol was 0.28. Pickled? Believe it or not, 0.28. He's a big boy.
Okay.
Here we go. The taillight video. And you think a fleshy arm would do that? You know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
Yep. So we got
if you notice,
pieces.
Not even that. I mean, Brian, he's using the ball ping part of the hammer, which is going to put more impact force on that area.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I don't know why he wasn't using the flat part.
Look how thick that is.
Yeah, it's thick stuff, man. It's meant to be thick. It's meant to not break apart and destroy you if it does hit you.
Harry's
that stuff will cut you.
Hit it with a pillow.
If it slices.
Yeah, no.
I've seen a guy on a motorcycle. He was doing dumb stuff, and he got slit open by that stuff. part of the bumper and the lights and everything sticking out. And yeah, it was. I don't know if you remember this. Gee, this was a while back. It was at like Trop and Fort Apache. You know, that big intersection.
Yeah, yeah.
And some kid was up there on a motorcycle acting a fool, doing donuts and interrupting traffic, and he hit a lady, caused an accident, and then he hit her and slid across the stomach, and he basically
Allayed himself.
what's that called?
Ouch.
No, he took all of his guts from the outside of his body to the or inside of his body to the outside of his body in about a second.
Oh,
and he looked up, looked at all of his guts across the entire street, dropped his head, and he was dead.
wow.
That's the
I think he was 20 years old.
Oh,
intestinal removal procedures. That was.
Yikes.
Yeah, eviscerated.
Sure.
For some reason, that's coming to me.
Sounds smart.
Eviscerated.
Sounds smart to me.
Wow.
All right, we got a super chat. I turned over a lot less. We were duped. $4.99.
Yeah.
Trooper Paul going to the water bottle, but it wasn't water. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It was
Yep.
another clear. It was another
Could
clear
be.
liquid.
Most people just drink the water.
Yeah.
That's what I'm drinking right now, water and my coffee cup.
So, Brian, what's next for you, Brian? What's going on with you? What do you got cooking up next?
Yeah,
some
I
shows coming
got I have a couple of shows coming up. Let's see. Sunday, tomorrow morning, I'm going to be on with Boston Mike. Sunday show, I do a morning show now on Sunday. We open up the phone lines and talk to everybody. So we're going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to have a special guest, Boston Mike, on the show. Then Monday evening at 5:30, I'm doing a show. My friend Lauren DC is coming in the studio live with me. We're going to go over the Jennifer McCabe 227 Google search testimony. It's my birthday that night, so we're going to probably we're going to do like a little pizza party. We'll probably have a cake here and hang out and have some fun with the members, subscribers, and moderators. It's going to be fun. And
anytime somebody says shock and ha, that's a shot for you, buddy.
And then I got something that I'm brewing up on Thursday with a couple of special guests on the channel. So that's going to be it's going to be really good. So yeah, a lot of Karen Reed stuff. We're still plugging away at Trooper Enrique Garcia. I've been following that case up in New York State with Robert Brooks, the inmate. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
We did a video on him.
Yeah, so we've been following that. And then unfortunately, another inmate just like a week later got killed after that by 13 correctional officers. So it's a mess up there. If you're ever looking for someone that's been following that pretty deep, there's a guy named Sean. He's got a channel called Long Island Audit, and he goes out and audits all these prisons and has been going out there and talking to all these correctional officers that are now on strike. Ironically, they strike a week after the 9 correctional officers got indicted in Robert Brooks's case, and they strike, but they say we're striking because of the conditions that we have to deal with.
Yeah.
And it's against the law, and these guys are not working, and inmates are literally like just killing each other.
I was just about to read that, Steve. I see you. Now I don't see it anymore. Oh, there it is. If you watch the rest of the light video, guy disassembles it and has an LED LEDs.
Yes.
There, no way there was any white ever. CPD doctor the videos. Yes, I remember this. Yeah. Yep. Thank you. I see you. $5. Thank you.
Yeah, and what we also noticed too is recently I had a young lady on. She goes by Video Jesus, and she's phenomenal with all these videos. And we were going back and watching one of the previous hearings just recently when they were showing Karen actually backing out of John's house and leaving. They doctored the video. They turned up the brightness and increased the contrast in that. So when you look at it, it does look like it's a white. This video here, they doctored it. They turned up the brightness and increased the contrast on it. And I have the original video, and we played it side by side, and you can see the clear difference of what they did.
Oh.
Well, that's why Jackson wants to get the metadata of all this stuff.
Yeah.
They can see who messed with it.
Yep.
And how many times it was manipulated.
Exactly. Yep.
Ain't that some shit?
What's next with you guys?
Well, I'm supposed to do a video tomorrow with Britt, but I think she sent me a message that she has a scheduling problem.
Ah,
So I don't think that's going to fly. But I don't know. Honestly, I was trying to tackle the emotions that were coming out. It's
it's been a lot.
it's too big for my brain, bro.
Yeah,
It's
been
too
a
big
lot.
for my brain, you know.
We're street cops, man. We're not lawyers.
Yeah, you know, listen, if you ever want a breakdown of those, you know, I always say Melanie Little, the lawyer
Yeah.
you know. I know
Yeah.
Bettero's coming back on Mike's show, Young Jerks. So, you know, those are the great people. Nan Gallagher, La Fiero, she's been on a lot of shows. She's been on my show a few times. She breaks those down really well too. So, you know, the good thing about it is we can't get through it. We can at least listen to them and they can break it down for us idiots.
No kidding.
It's been a lot.
Hey, I'm telling you, because I thought they were saying lemonade, but it wasn't lemonade. It was other stuff. So I'm telling you. But I watched Little, and I also watch The Lawyer You Know.
Yeah,
too.
I like him. Peter Tragos is great.
Whoa, Brian, read that
there's
one.
Nan right there. Thank you, Nan.
Gosh.
Thank you, Nan.
Lawfario.
Yep.
Keep showing up.
Nan's great.
$1.99. Holy jeez.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, Nan's great.
Wow. Lawfario. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, and Andrea Burkhardt. I'm sorry. Andrea Burkhardt is great, too. She does a lot of Karen Reed content and Idaho 4 content. And when I actually I've been dipping back into the Idaho case. I plan on actually reaching out to her. She's been doing a lot on Brian Koberger. I want to get her on the channel for Idaho stuff. So that's someone I'd love to have on my channel because she knows a lot about that case.
Hey, Brian, let me ask you your opinion. Why do you think that crime TV has absolutely blown up in the last 5 years?
Crime TV?
You know how people just watch that?
It's the curiosity factor. It's curiosity factor because we love movies like that. We love courtroom drama. We love, you know, murder mysteries. We love horror. But unfortunately, you know, it just all plays out now in real life. And you know, we have court TV now. That essentially court TV started because of the O.J. Simpson trial. They started their own network, but I think because it's available and we can see it, it is a huge genre of TV that is watched. I mean, there's probably umpteen apps about crime and crime TV. And I mean, even if you have you know, you put up an antenna, I know you can still get some of those crimes because my mom has them on all the time, you know? So
my wife has it on and she goes, come watch this with me. I go, honey, I lived it.
I lived it.
I lived it.
Exactly.
So
people love police TV shows. Police TV shows are always the highest rated. They've always been, and they always will be, because people love seeing the good guys win, bad guys lose. They like seeing good cops. They like seeing crooked cops. They look, our lives, you can't script it. And the shit that Gonzo and I've seen, you couldn't write it in movies because we don't know what's going to happen. And real life, trust me, is stranger than any fiction.
Yeah.
So people love that, and it's very interesting. And I like, to me, I love Kenda, the homicide detective, the homicide hunter. I like hearing his cases because I like seeing how he puts it together. So, and that's how you learn, right? You watch these older guys that have tons of experience, and you see how they put cases together and see how their brain works and how they think. And to me, that's how you become a better cop too.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think a lot of people that get into like crime, they love puzzle solving. So they initially hear about the case and they're like, oh, all right, well, let's trace that out. Let's put it on Google Earth and see where they went. You know, is it possible? You know, I say that I'm a puzzle solver. I like to put things together, and I think that's what brings
the same concept as like some people enjoy a panic room.
Yeah.
You know, you want to escape. You want to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of thrill, but nothing too serious. You know what I mean? And a lot of these shows give it to the people.
Yep. I agree.
And you know what's interesting is it makes you wonder, is that possible? Right? Is that possible?
Yep.
Like this gentleman that took that light and broke it to see if it was possible. Right? We're watching it. Who else do you think is watching it? The prosecution, the defense, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's people that go out there and have the initiative to try something and say, hey, it doesn't work that way. And it just spreading like wildfire, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
I agree.
Well, shoot. I think we talked about everything we need to talk about, didn't we?
We literally played.
It was a great show. Thanks for having me.
Man, I'm telling you, Brian.
We hit all the topics tonight.
Oh wait, Bonnie Coy, $10. Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie.
John O'Keefe did not get the correct respect an officer down in their town. I
100% correct.
agree 100%. That is
100%.
not should have went down that way. Matter of fact, Gonzo and I have a video of how the scene should have been respected and taken care of versus what happened. I forget what was the name of that one. Oh, Tell Us video.
Tell us. Yeah, Tell Us video.
Yeah, if you go back and watch that one, you'll see we do a little bit of a comparison.
Mm.
All right.
And ours is way better.
I'm sure it is.
It's way better.
I'm sure it is.
It's way better.
Hey, Steve,
If
you want
only
to jump
that
in
would
here?
happen here.
You want to jump in, Steve?
What's up?
You got anything for us before we say our adioses?
I love you guys. I
Oh,
love Gonzo and Brian and Brian.
Oh,
yeah.
And we need to be in the same room again. Actually, the three of us and all four of us. So hopefully
of course.
that can
You guys
happen
are
before
welcome
not
here
too long.
anytime.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah,
Thank you, bro.
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, thanks for having me. It's been fun to kind of, it's been fun going on channels lately because every time it's like, you're the host, you're doing your channel, but I like just going on to other people's channels too and getting to see what their format is. It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun to get to know other people too. I think I'm doing Calling All Beings next Thursday. And we're gonna have
thanks
fun.
for reminding me of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that show next Thursday. And you know what? We're gonna talk about Karen and a bunch of other stuff. Who knows? I might talk about aliens, music, who knows? But that's what's fun, man.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
You get to know people.
I agree.
Everybody's like a library, everybody has a story.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find somebody I could talk Shakespeare to, but nobody knows Shakespeare.
Nobody understands Shakespeare.
A2 Brutus.
Yeah.
What'd you call me? What'd you call me?
What'd you say?
What'd you say? Oh yeah. By the way, Turtle Boy is live in 20 minutes, so I would say direct everybody over there.
Yeah, we will.
He's gonna have a lot to say.
Thank you, Brian, for coming on. We appreciate it.
Well, hang on, don't kick him off yet. We got another super from Hey, It's Me. Love, you all got here way too late, but I will replay. And
replay.
I don't know if Nan is still in the chat, but I've seen a lot on Twitter, X, whatever, and YouTube saying that we should hook up with her. And dang it, I just had a comment I was going to throw on the screen. I can't find it anymore, so I apologize. So, yeah, that's great. We love doing videos with everybody. So,
yeah.
Oh, here we go. Let's hook up.
Yeah, awesome. There you go.
And thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, all the mods. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Gonzo may be on with Brit Happens Tomorrow. It's canceled?
I think so. I have to read the text message. It's on the back of the phone.
Okay.
I couldn't do it.
All right.
Yeah, might be a scheduling conflict.
Yeah, possibly tomorrow at 10 Pacific. And then Brian on Calling All Beings on the 20th, right? Thursday
at 4 o'clock. Yeah, Thursday at 4 o'clock my time. So 7 o'clock his time.
Yeah. And then we'll probably be live again on Saturday, and who knows what we'll have.
About aliens.
Maybe we'll have Nan on Saturday if she's free. But anyway, we'll get that all figured out. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. I will get off the screen and let these guys wrap up. Brian, thank you so much for getting with us once again. And I'm sure it's not the last time. So
no,
peace out, everybody.
It is not the last time.
Yeah, see you, Steve.
Brian, we appreciate you like always, man. I'm telling you, you really are a smart dude when it comes to these cases that's going on. You got your irons in a lot of stuff, and I respect that because it takes a lot of research to do what you do. And thank you for what you do. I really mean it a lot.
No, I appreciate it. And listen, I appreciate both you gentlemen having a platform and being honest, because I think we need a lot more of that in our law enforcement. And obviously we don't see that here in Massachusetts. We got a big problem here. We need to get it cleaned up, but it's refreshing to be able to come to a channel and see two respectful gentlemen, breaking down law enforcement and what's wrong with with policing today and what needs to be cleaned up. And that's why I love and respect my friend Todd McGee. You know, Mass State Trooper, straight down the line, calls bullshit the way it is, and doesn't cover for anything. He just puts it out there. And to have people like that out there in transparency in our law enforcement, we need more of that. So thank you.
It's one word. It's one word. It's called courage.
Yeah.
You have to have the courage to do what is right when nobody's watching.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
so it's hard to do, but it needs to be done. Yeah. You gotta stick with it. You can't give up your integrity. You know.
Yeah.
Once you give it up, it's hard to get it back.
Yep.
I agree.
And that's one thing the new cops, man. You really gotta keep your integrity. It's not for sale. You know. Don't give it up easy.
Don't give it up. We need more. We need better policing out there, and we need you know, these government institutions to start really buckling down on this stuff and putting in good protocols so we can get bad officers out and get good people in. And it's just sad because I look at you know, Enrique Delgado Garcia, which would have been one of the good guys to get in this, and unfortunately he lost his life. It's again 6 months today. I'm sorry, just came over 6 months the other day, and you know, it's sad. Bad
state of affairs. Damn.
Yep.
I needed to come back for 1 second. I apologize. Everybody here probably already knows who Brian is, LTL Media. If by strange chance you have no idea who Brian is, excellent YouTuber, creator. I know YouTuber sounds weird, but
content creator. What did I say that?
LTL Media News. Excuse me, now I can't even speak. Is his website. I have it down there. That links to all of his socials and his YouTube. He's an excellent creator. So if you don't know who he is, you do now. Please go check him out. He's a really good guy.
Thank you.
All right. So thanks again, everybody. I'm gone for real this time.
All right.
All right. Brian, you are a gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on our show today. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us.
Anytime.
We appreciate your expertise and your knowledge as always. Where'd he go?
He gone.
I didn't do it.
We love you, Brian.
What happened?
Brian did it.
He disappeared. It was a Irish goodbye, I guess.
Sorry,
Adios,
Brian.
amigo.
I was giving you a nice outro. I was giving you a nice outro, and you disappeared on us. I thought it was Steve. Like that, every time we do a live, somebody cuts me off at my end. Oh, Brian.
I have no control. I
hit the wrong button.
I'm not talking to you, G. There he is.
I hit the wrong
You don't leave until we say
I hit the wrong button.
Boy, you're going to learn
dismissed.
today. You're going to learn today. Disrespect us like that. That's some bullshit, bro.
I hit the wrong button.
Nobody leaves this room until we say goodbye.
Hit the damn tab. I'm like, shit. I got to get back in there.
Yeah, I was getting ready to yell at Steve. Like, Steve, what the fuck did you do? All right, Brian, thank you for your time. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule. I don't know where we left off at, but you are a gentleman and a scholar. We appreciate everything you do. Karen and all the people doing the boots on the ground, everybody in Boston, everybody appreciates you. So we can't thank you enough for everything that you do. You're very professional. You're a great host. You're a great guest.
Thank you.
And we're honored to have you on our show.
Thank you so much. And I did do an Irish exit, by the way. I did a Brian Higgins. I did a B Higgins. All right, guys, I'll let you guys wrap up. Anytime you want to come, want me to come on, or you want to come hang out on my channel, let's do it again.
Perfect. You got it.
All right. Bye, chat.
Later,
we'll see everybody soon.
Thank you, sir. You are dismissed now. Now you can leave. Thank you.
Funny dude, man. Dude, he's got to step up his game now.
Sneak out of here,
bro.
What's he trying to just diss us?
If I don't see him in a tuxedo,
I don't think so.
If I don't see him in a tuxedo next time, he's got to step his game up. I'm gonna wear a suit. I'm gonna wear a suit next time.
Good. Should we start dressing up? Get a little.
Yeah, I think so. All right.
Yeah,
I think so.
All right, let's wrap this up. Everybody's going over to Turtle Boy's channel to see his live, updates on him. He's going through a tough time right now too. So, thoughts and prayers out to everybody in the Karen Reed family, including Turtle Boy. So thank you for joining us on your Saturday afternoon, now into your Saturday evening, our Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
Thanks for watching.
And for those that are still serving, have a safe tour of duty, please.
And make a difference in someone's life. Stay classy, Las Vegas.
Always.
Here's to you.
Yeah.
Boosh.
Yeah. A do stop button.
1 Sam 5 and 1 Sam 6, copy of 425 call.
Copy. 1 Sam 5 en route.
1 Sam 6, copy, en route.